Look around you. The concrete, the steel, the invisible grids pulsing with data all around us right now. We're the architects of the modern world, right? We're building higher, wider, and denser than any generation before us. But beneath the surface of our shimmering skylines lies a deeply, deeply unsettling proposition. In this explainer, we aren't just looking at blueprints. No, we're confronting the sheer limits of human capability. We are quite literally staring into the abyss of our own ambition.
Okay, let's dive into this. Because, listen, this isn't science fiction anymore. This is the looming reality of our urban evolution. What actually happens when the systems we design to sustain millions of people become so vast, so incredibly intricate that they just completely surpass our cognitive and logistical ability to manage them? We're fast approaching a threshold, a tipping point where the master builder can no longer comprehend the building itself. I mean, think about it. The silent, automated power grids that dynamically route electricity to millions of nodes, or the mass transit algorithms making thousands of split-second routing decisions every single hour just to prevent catastrophic bottlenecks. These intricate systems form the very nervous system of our environments, and they are growing exponentially beyond our direct human oversight. Section 1. Tomorrow's urban landscape. The scale of the unknown. Future mega cities. You know, that prefix, mega, it forces us to completely abandon our old blueprints. We're not just talking about simple population density here. We are talking about birthing entirely new ecosystems of infrastructure. It is a physical and structural scale that pushes us right to the very edge of the unknown. We're looking at this unimaginable concentration of physical architecture and human variables, all just colliding in one continuous sprawling space. These environments are so massive, they literally shatter our historical models of urban planning. When a city expands to house tens of millions of people, the sheer weight of its logistical needs, water distribution, waste removal, real-time traffic flow, it creates an unprecedented level of infrastructure stress. The underlying architecture becomes this tightly woven, hyper-connected fabric. It's an environment where just a single degraded sensor or a tiny localized power dip could pull a thread that unravels entire sectors.
Section 2. The expert warning. A singular consensus.
So the crucial point is, experts believe future megacities could become impossible to control. Let's just read that again. Impossible to control. Not just difficult, not just challenging, impossible. And this brings us to a stark, honestly chilling reality. The people whose life's work is to study these massive human environments, the researchers and urban theorists looking ahead at our trajectory, they're arriving at a profound consensus. They're looking at the math of our expansion and sounding the alarm. Why? Well, because of cascading systemic failures. Picture this. AI monitoring systems designed to optimize energy loads suddenly encounter an unprecedented data spike during an extreme weather event. The system overcompensates, and in doing so, it inadvertently triggers a massive systemic failure in the energy grid. Suddenly, you have a cascading blackout. Autonomous transport hubs experience algorithmic failures because the local sensors they rely on have lost power. This is the core of the warning right here. The sheer momentum of these urban behemoths, driven by the interactions between neural networks and millions of independent sensors, could completely outstrip any regulatory, structural, or logistical reins we try to place on them.
Section 3. The control problem. The impending crisis.
And this brilliantly illustrates the core dilemma. On one side of the scale, you have human control, our traditional methods of oversight, our management grids, city councils, command centers. But on the other side, you have the raw, compounding complexity of a future megacity. The source material highlights a really fundamental tension here, the widening gap between our human ambition to build endlessly and our actual capacity to manage what we've built. The impending crisis isn't some foreign invasion or a sudden natural disaster. It's the slow, creeping realization that the steering wheel no longer connects to the wheels. These two forces, they are not growing at the same rate. The complexity of these massive urban hubs is becoming exponential, while our capacity for centralized human control is strictly finite. Algorithmic blind spots start to emerge when automated systems running the city's transport network conflict with its energy management protocols. When a central server shutdown exposes critical architectural vulnerabilities, the scales tip entirely. The city begins to act on its own logic, and we lose the ability to predict how it will behave. Which leaves us standing at the edge of a very dark, very uncertain frontier. If the experts are right, and these sprawling urban labyrinths slip beyond our grasp, what actually happens to us? What are the implications for humanity in a city that literally cannot be controlled? When the urban environment outgrows the architects, where does that leave the citizens navigating the physical degradation of their own environment? It's a massive question, and one we absolutely must carry with us as we continue to build tomorrow. Thank you for joining me for this explainer. Keep questioning everything.